I hate her brother so much.
What, you didn't like the scene when he was drunk and was like, "You're not in love if you don't kiss," which is true, by the way. I say that about Disney couples all the time.
Like, oh yeah?
I'm just saying, like some of those old school Disney princess movies, if they don't kiss, they're not in love. I'm sorry. Hello, and welcome to the Nerdiest Podcast, the show where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm your host, Nick, and as always, I'm joined with my co-host, my ride or die, Mr. Jackson Glass. And today, we're going to be doing another episode of Jackson's anime adventure where he watched Spy Family. So if you want to know his thoughts, stick around because we're going to get into it a little bit later in the episode. But first, I want to let you guys know that there's a poll in the description for the next anime Jackson's going to watch. Your options are Komi Can't Communicate, Kaguya-sama Love is War, and Horimiya, because Jackson said he wanted to take a break from action, so I'm throwing out there some of the best romance anime I've seen that are appropriate for us to talk about on the podcast.
Yes.
So, go cast your vote down below. I don't know when the next Anime Adventure episode is, but it's coming, and we want to know which one you guys think I should force him to watch next. With that being said, I want to know how Jackson's been. It's been a week since we last recorded, and I will say, guys, this is our last weekly episode. We're going back to our bi-weekly schedule. So, it's been great to be weekly, but it's also been a little tiring.
Yeah.
So, it'll be nice to have the break. So, with that being said, Jackson, how have you been? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and I would be doing a lot better if you followed us on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast and subscribed on YouTube at the Nerdiest Podcast. We're doing great original content. You can follow up on new episodes, see what's going on. And if you aren't on Spotify and you want to vote on the poll will be on the YouTube community tab. So vote there for our next. I forgot about that. Vote there for your next anime. For me, I'm doing all right. It's finals week now. I'm taking the time to do this podcast during finals week. And, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done with school forever. And, I've just been working, and I don't have a lot of interesting things to say because I've just been working. I've been writing an essay. I had a photo project that I was doing, and my project was... sorry, my white balance is whack. My project was gas stations across town. Which I thought that was a cool idea, and it's been more interesting than I even thought it would be. But I'm just meeting the weirdest people in my entire life, which I expected that, like talking to random people at gas stations. But man, some of my interactions, like I asked a guy working there, I was like, "Hey, I'm just a student doing a photo project. Like, can I take a picture?" He said, "Sure. Just so you know, I don't smile." And I was like, "Oh."
Okay, that's fine.
That's okay.
Makes it more authentic.
Also, I had a scare the other day where, if you look back here, a couple episodes ago, I had a picture of a llama up there above my whiteboard. And at about 6...
Did you really?
I did. If you go a couple episodes back, you can see it. That was a Christmas gift. I got a picture of a llama because it matched my decor. And at like 6 a.m. the other day... the picture didn't fall off the wall. It launched itself off the wall. And I don't know what happened, but it was 6 a.m, and I was in bed, and then I just hear this, it's like this crash, and then the picture is on the floor. And the picture's fine, it didn't break or anything. But it like got so much distance, and I don't know what happened. It didn't just go, didn't just fall. It like went out, and like almost hit me. And so I don't know how that happened. It was whack. Finals are crazy. I'm close to being done. Also, oh my gosh, I'm so close to seeing Taylor Swift. Okay, see, I'm repping the Midnights right here. Can't wait. Very close. You'll see some pictures of me at Taylor Swift. It's going to be lit. We're gonna get crunk. All right, it's gonna be fun. When she starts singing Getaway Car, I'm going to lose it. lose it. If she sings Love Story, I'm gonna lose it, all right? I'm gonna lose it. I grew up on that song. Okay, that's enough Taylor Swift rant for now. Also, no, I won't say that. Hey, how was your week? Have you had a good week?
It was a good week until like yesterday, because apparently yesterday the collector's edition for Tears of the Kingdom is in someone's hands, which means someone has a full physical copy of the game, which means someone can go around leaking cutscenes and story stuff and all that. Because they don't even have to play the game. They can just put it in a hacked Switch and have access to all the files and rip out the files.
Right.
So now everyone's going on a complete and utter like social media blackout, which is going to be really interesting for me running the Joystick Drift podcast, which is almost solely driven off of Tears of the Kingdom stuff right now. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that,
Nice.
I mean, it's been a good week. Just getting excited for Zelda. My birthday is next week. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is next week.
Yes.
And the Rotten Tomatoes reviews dropped, and it's currently sitting at a 91. So
People are saying it's good.
And people are saying it's kind of capping off the best MCU trilogy, which is going to totally be true. I'm still
absolutely.
avoiding, like, I muted those words on Twitter because I want to avoid as many reviews as possible. I want to avoid seeing any clips, seeing anything, and just go into it as blind as possible because I just don't want to know anything about it. Like, if I see a clip show up, I'm just going to scroll right past it. So yeah, other than that, just getting excited for Zelda. That's been about my personality.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you're doing right now.
Yeah, if because our next episode comes out on the 15th, if I just disappear for like a month, just assume it's because I'm playing Zelda. I'll come back eventually, but I'm just gonna disappear into a cave and like never come back.
The Zelda cave, if you will.
I will say, and we can use this to segue into our next topic of like the movie competition. I did watch some really interesting movies this week that I want to talk about.
Me too.
And I will say, they're all anime movies because I was like, man, I really want to watch anime, and I was like, oh, but I need to watch movies, and I was like, wait a minute,
Anime movies.
So, I talked about it a little bit on Twitter, which at Nerdiest Nick, if you want to follow me on Twitter and just see my random ramblings. I watched these two anime movies called To Me, the One Who Loved You, and To Every You I've Loved Before. And the reason I watched these is because I kind of looked them up, and I figured they had something to do with each other because Crunchyroll announced that they were going on the platform together, and they looked very similar, and I was like, oh, okay. And the whole thing is, like, it doesn't matter which one you watch first. You could, like, they're both the first movie and they're both the sequel simultaneously, depending on which one you watch. I will say there is a specific order you should watch them in. You should watch To Me, the One Who Loved You first, because it makes To Every You I've Loved Before better. And if those words are very confusing to you, watch the pink one first and the blue one second. That's how I distinguished it, because the titles are very similar. And I was like, all right, pink first, blue second. And I won't spoil too much about it.
Remember which one. Just remember, when you're opening a door, it's ladies first. Pink first.
True.
And then blue.
True.
There you go.
I don't want to say too much about it in case people want to watch it, and I would highly recommend. But just the story of these two films is nothing that I've ever seen American films touch. The way they're so intertwined together, and there are certain things that you watch one movie and it kind of makes sense, and then you watch the other one and it makes a lot more sense. It's just they're so well put together movies, and what's cool is like they're the same characters and the same art style, but the art style of each movie is slightly different, and there's a reason for that. And I didn't understand it until the second movie, but it differentiates them enough. Like, you know, it's the same character, but it differentiates them enough. So that was one movie I watched. I also watched the new John Mulaney special, which was great. It was the one I had went and saw last year in person, and there were a couple things that, like, he used some of the same jokes, but then swapped them out, which is fine because maybe some of them didn't hit right or were, aged. Because he did make a joke live about the Russia-Ukraine war, which, not to say it was in bad taste, but it's also like, is that really what we're still talking about now? Like,
it's like,
is it gonna do great on a Netflix special that's gonna be there for years?
Probably not.
So I can understand why he would have cut that. And then I also watched this anime movie called Over the Sky, which all I'm gonna say is my Letterboxd review, if I can find it. I don't know why it won't just let me see my previous review. Oh, there it is. Mom, can we get Weathering with You? We have Weathering with You at home. Weathering with You at home. That's essentially the movie, which it's funny because it only came out a year after, but it wasn't that far removed. Like, they would have been in production at the same time.
Right. Interesting.
It's a 3-star movie. It was okay.
Interesting. Huh.
And I also watched the Quintessential Quintuplets movie, which all I'll say is Futaro chose wrong. He chose the wrong girl.
Oh.
And if you want to fight me in the DMs, at Nerdiest Nick on Twitter, at Nick_Barrett on Instagram, come fight me. He chose wrong.
Dang.
And I'll die by that opinion.
All right.
So,
all right.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
I guess we can go over totals after you talk about the movies you want to talk about.
Yes. This week, last we left off was when I watched the Mario movie a second time.
Was it really?
Yeah. That was the last time I watched a movie, was the second Mario movie, because school got super busy. So this week we watched Return of the Jedi, just because we're like, dude, I'm exhausted. Let's watch Star Wars. And it was really great.
They're putting that back in theaters, right?
They are.
For the 40th anniversary?
Yeah.
I'm mad because they're not doing it at my local Regal. I'd have to go all the way out to the mall. And I'm like, nah, not worth it when I could watch it on Disney+.
Plus, you have to bring a weapon to the mall at this point.
Exactly. I gotta bring a knife with me to the mall just in case.
Mall, man. What happened to movie
malls
theater
are scary,
malls?
man.
Dude, mall movie theaters used to be the stuff. We used to have a Malco at the movie theater where I lived, and I saw Soul Surfer there. Man, too good.
Now movie theater malls are sketchy.
Oh, now they're sketchy as heck. Dude, I saw, I had a friend, I was at church Sunday, and someone was like, oh, I saw a movie last night. I was like, what'd you see? She was like, Evil Dead Rise. And I was like, why? She said, I wasn't told that it was scary. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you weren't told that Evil Dead Rises was scary?
You see the title Evil Dead Rises and don't think that's a scary movie?
No, literally. And I think that I could never. As someone that looks up like the IMDb Parents Guide to every movie I watch before I watch it, like, I would know so far in advance that was not a movie I was going to see. Like, I want to go see Beau is Afraid, but looking at the Parents Guide, I was like, there's some stuff I might want to skip, so I might just wait till it's on streaming. Or I can buy it somewhere. So, anyway, I thought that was really funny. But we watched Return of the Jedi. I completely forgot that it was the anniversary. We were just like, let's watch a Star Wars. I wanted to watch a Star Wars movie, but I didn't want to feel pressured to watch all of them. So we watched Return of the Jedi.
see, no. That's where I'm at. Is like, I want to watch a Star Wars movie because it's getting close to May the 4th. But like, if I'm gonna watch a numbered one, I want to go back and watch them all.
Right.
And it's gonna bother me if on my Letterboxd list it's like 3, 2, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 9, 8. I'm like, nope, they all gotta be in order. I gotta go from 1 to 9 all the way through.
So
now I could watch like Rogue One or Solo that are like standoff. So I might do that. We'll see.
Yeah. So we watched Return of the Jedi. I also watched The French Dispatch this week. Rated R, not for children. And I know a lot of people that I've talked to are like, don't really like that movie. It's definitely not Wes Anderson's best movie. I will say that. But I also think it deserves a little more credit than it's been given from the people I've interacted with, because it's an insanely creative movie. It's just not a narrative, if that makes sense. Like, it's 3 small stories in one. The point is the movie is supposed to be watched in the same way you read a magazine. So it's three
Right.
completely separate stories with little stuff in between. And I went in knowing that and wasn't expecting like a long, super like narrative story that I would get super invested in. It was more like, I know this isn't going to be the movie that I will get super invested and die on the hill. It's more like, this is a cool concept and I liked watching it, so it's cool, so it's good. I gave it 4 stars. I think it's a good movie. Also, yesterday I was trying to write an essay, and so I turned on Flushed Away. Have you seen that movie?
No, but I've seen a video commentary about it.
So, Flushed Away was a movie I grew up on. We had it in our car. And I thought, oh, it's on Netflix, because I was going to watch Over the Hedge, because that was also on Netflix. But when I was searching Over the Hedge, Flushed Away came up. I was like, I haven't seen Flushed Away in so long. So, needless to say, I got very little of my essay done because I was engrossed in Flushed Away. Also,
speaking
that
of
movie
Flushed Away,
sucks. Okay, what?
you remind me of the Aardman, because that's who did it. And
Yeah.
Aardman remind me that the second season of Star Wars Visions comes out this week
Yep.
on May the 4th.
Dude, the
and
Aardman,
I'm actually kind of looking forward to
the
that.
Aardman one is going to be the best one. I'm calling it now. Or at least it's going to be my
Ooh.
favorite one.
That's that. I don't know. I know which one I'm leaning towards. It's like the first one they showed in the trailer
Yeah.
that looks more anime. But we'll see. I really like Star Wars Visions because it's just they're short, sweet, and to the point, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
So
So, that being said,
what's your new total?
so movies for this week, including this week and including rewatches, I'm now at 44.
Okay, hold on. I gotta pull up my rewatches because I don't remember how many rewatches I have.
I just
I think
remembered.
I have 3.
I just remembered I watched Weathering with You, Puss in Boots, and the Mario movie twice.
Yeah, I have 3 rewatches. So on top of the ones I've watched, I'm now at 56.
Okay. So you're like 12 ahead of me.
No, what'd you
No?
say?
I said 44.
44? 56? Oh no, you're right. I am 12 ahead.
All
right, I'll take it.
All right.
Look at this. I'm 12 ahead going into the launch of Zelda. So like I just got to spend this week. I thought I would be more distracted by Xenoblade, but I found a good balance where
found
one
a
night I'll
good
play
balance.
Xenoblade and like plow through a bunch of Xenoblade, and then I'll watch a movie, and then I'll plow through more Xenoblade, and I'll watch another movie. So I'm still doing both.
Oh my gosh.
And remember, if I can finish Xenoblade this week, I have the entire launch week up to Friday the 12th to keep watching movies.
You know,
You're not going to catch me.
you are.
It's not gonna happen.
You are a completionist.
I am.
Like neurologically, like diagnosed by me, a real doctor.
Of course. Absolutely.
Completionist.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
You're not going to catch me. It's not going to happen.
this week I've been watching a little show, and it's called Spy X Family.
Nope.
And-
Nope. No. We're not doing that. It's Spy Family. It is not Spy X Family. It is also not Spy Times Family. Which, again, love my sister to death, but she calls it Spy Times Family because she's being introduced to she's been introduced to multiplication. So whenever you see a small x in between
right,
two things,
yeah.
it means this times this.
Oh, my bad. Spy Times Family. It's a good
Spy Times
it's a
Family.
show I've been watching.
Okay, here's what I'll say. How many episodes do we need to do of this series before you stop watching half of the show the day before we record?
So,
I gave you 2 months to watch Spy Family and only said you had to watch 12 episodes. I didn't even say you had to watch the full 25 episode season. You had 12 episodes and 2 months to watch it, and you watched 7 of them this week.
all right, listen. So, we watched the first episode together, like what feels like forever ago, and
I know,
then
right?
I watched then I fell off of it, and then I got back on. I was like, okay, this is cool, and then I kept checking my watch, and I was like, I need to finish 5 episodes by Saturday, and this was on like Monday, so
1 episode a day.
the problem is if I'm watching TV in the living room and people come in, they talk to me and I can't watch. So last night I watched it in my bedroom and finished it out. I was also
I was gonna say skill issue. Download Hulu on your Switch and watch it from there.
I mean, I used my laptop, so
there you go. That works too.
I was also peer pressured into going and getting food last night at like 11 p.m. when I knew I had 3 episodes to watch. And so we got back and I was like, all right, here we go. Time to grind out some Spy Family. I finished this show. It's 10:30 a.m. I finished episode 12 at 2 a.m. yesterday. Or today. No, today. 2 a.m. this morning. And I'm slowly learning. Because when I
need to start telling you these episodes are like one episode before they actually are, so you finish them earlier.
Ooh, that's probably a good idea. The thing is, like when I watched Demon Slayer, I was up like till like 1 or 2 every night for a week trying to finish that show in time. Which is
You were also in high school then.
I was also I didn't have college to.
Man, that really was like a year ago.
Oh, don't say that. Ew.
Wait, I'm gonna get it.
Get an exact date on that one. Yeah, because it's not like I don't like watching these shows. I just forget.
Well, you didn't like Sword Art Online.
Yeah, that was kind of hard to watch. But I also had
that was one of the slogs.
I also had the flu, and so I had nothing else to do but watch that with you. So
that's true. You make it sound like you're suffering.
Oh, there's a.
I saw that too. It's okay.
Okay, that was a spider.
Oh. How nice. How quaint. No, we don't want to see your spider. Keep talking about anime.
No, it's so cool. Little spider.
All right, Spotify won't tell me. It just says
that is the
It just says May 2022.
What a tiny spider. Oh, is he going back up?
So,
I'm wildly entertained by this spider. He's like building a little web.
We're wildly entertaining people by talking about Demon Slayer. Or Spy Family, not
Demon Slayer. Bet. Okay, so
you haven't even watched season 2 yet. We don't have anything new to talk about.
So,
watch season 2 and 3 and we'll do another Demon Slayer episode.
Yay. So, yeah, I watched 12 episodes of Spy Family. That's what was requested of me. I was told I could either watch 24 or 12, and I could have watched in the 24 if school didn't get so busy, but
if you actually managed your time
you're
properly.
like, you know what? Sorry, I don't make time to watch anime like some people. So
whoa, what are you trying to say about me, huh?
What, Mr. Grind out some Xenoblade, watch a movie, grind out more and watch another movie? Don't come at me.
Yeah, it's called commitment, okay?
Commitment to watching TV?
Yeah, I gotta stay committed to something.
That's so based. Anyway, so I've seen 12 episodes, and I will open the discussion by saying, even after this episode, I will be watching the rest of this season. Watching the rest of this season. So keep updated as I keep watching and get more. But for this episode, we'll be talking 1 through 12. General thoughts? This is a good show. Animation is beautiful. Anya is a legend. It's
true. So based.
Like, actually really wholesome. And I think my favorite part is the punch-ins of Anya, where her face is like super detailed. That is my personal favorite because it's like the
smug Anya.
Good. Too good. It's too good. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Anya, okay. Here's what I'll say. I'll give my general thoughts on Spy Family. I watched this anime blind last year. I had heard a lot of people hype it up, say it's really good. It was one of the spring 2022 anime, and I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll give it a try. Like, it's coming on. I watched the trailer. It looks interesting. I watched the first episode. I was sold.
Yeah.
Off the first episode alone. It has a really solid first episode because it
it
establishes Loid's character, it establishes Anya's character, and it just and like you said, the animation is so good. They really use the animation to its fullest by using it to fully sell those comedic moments by changing the art style, or they really sell the intense moments by making it look more intense and keeping, like, they do a good job of going back and forth with the tone. Also, Anya is a legend.
Yeah.
Like, what can I say? I have a little Anya. You can barely see it, but like right there, I have an Anya figure. Because I love Anya. She's great.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely one of my favorite anime characters because she's just so unhinged.
Yeah, no.
Like, the kind of stuff she says is just, like, exactly what you'd expect from a 6-year-old.
No, absolutely. They wrote... Here's the thing. I usually don't like kid characters in shows because they usually just get annoying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. She's, like, actually, like, is important to the show and moves the plot along, and she's actually like an interesting character. She's not like Loid's daughter and Loid's the main character, and she like actually has some stake in the game. And I
don't even know who to tell you the main character of this show is.
It's all of them. They're all the main character.
The whole family, I guess, is the main character.
The family unit is the main character. And so I also think her being a telepath makes it so interesting because it's like he has this secret life and she has this secret life and she has a secret power and she knows about their secret lives, but they like aren't saying anything to each other. And it's like, okay, I see you. It's good. It's
such a good premise.
Like, just, I think it may just like, it's executed very well, but it also like has such a solid idea and such a solid characters to back it up that it like can't do wrong. So, and I think it balances really well between like you said, the tone. It balances the, oh, this is really funny and this is really cute and really wholesome, but it's also like, oh, there's some action in there and like they are spies and this is an important mission. And so it's almost like, and this is the point, it has that feeling of like playing pretend. Like it has this like, I'm pretending to be a spy and we're going yeah, and it's fun. So I really appreciate the tone of the show, and like it's just solid. It's solid.
Yeah, and I was worried because this is one of those shows that uses the animation to sell the comedy, and I was really worried that picking up the manga that it wasn't going to translate as well. Because, you know, manga, they're just still panels. It's not animated, obviously. So I was a little worried about that, but then I picked up the manga and I realized that it's, well, yes, the animation does help sell the comedy. The comedy in and of itself is really good, and it doesn't need the animation to sell it because it's just good comedy. Yeah. And I really appreciated that going into the manga. I haven't read the most recent volume yet, but I want to. And I will say season 2 is going to be really good because they go on a cruise ship.
Oh my gosh!
So if you like,
ship.
Actually, I was gonna say if you like the Demon Slayer Mugen Train arc, you're gonna love the cruise ship arc. And I'm like, well, I don't think those are comparable, because one is about fighting demons on a train, the other one is about pretend family going on a cruise together.
So you know,
so they're not exactly the same.
Yeah, well,
but
you know.
It's close.
What's that meme that's like every show has a beach episode and like a carnival episode?
Okay, I swear I invented that. My phrase is every good anime has a beach episode. Spy Family doesn't have a beach episode yet, so therefore it's a bad anime. So sorry guys. I know I was praising Spy Family like 10 minutes ago. No, sorry, bad anime because it doesn't have a beach episode.
Dang.
And if you go back and look at all the good anime, they all have a beach episode.
That's like so Disney
There are
Channel.
some exceptions, like Demon Slayer doesn't have a beach episode because it wouldn't fit the tone.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. Actually, I'm not going to continue that train of thought because I do it. Okay, if you've seen Demon Slayer Season 3, you know we got a much better alternative to a beach episode, and that's all I'm going to say. Moving on. The openings and endings for Spy Family, I love them both because the opening feels very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
espionage,
spy, like it really fits that tone.
Yeah.
And then the ending is just so wholesome. Of like Anya going from being by herself to with Loid and then to Yor, and like they're all three together and they're having this happy family life, which, come on, we all know by the end of the series they're all going to become an actual family. Like that's,
come on.
Although there's a lot of people speculating that, I think it was in like episode 4 or 5, Anya's having a dream or something and she says, "Oh no, Mama, don't kill Papa." And everyone's like, she's seeing into the future. And that's going to be Yor's last mission, is to kill Twilight.
No.
And I'm like, no, you can't do that to me.
I would cry.
I'd be very angry.
Dude, can you imagine if they really went all in on like an extremely emotional episode?
And they committed to the bit?
And they committed to it? I'd cry. There would be tears.
See, what's funny
shed.
is the author of Spy Family apparently hates his characters, so like I could see him doing it.
Yeah, no, you see, I don't get it, because they're kind of horrible. They're like killing people, which like they're the good guys. They are the good guys,
respectively, depending on which side you're on.
Right.
They're both doing what they believe is the right thing.
Which I question if Yor is even like a good guy, air quote. And so I'm like figuring out her brother is like the air quote bad guy. And so also I hate her brother so much.
What, you didn't like the scene when he was drunk and was like, "You're not in love if you don't kiss," which is true, by the way. I say that about Disney couples all the time.
Like, oh yeah?
I'm just saying, like some of those old school Disney princess movies, if they don't kiss, they're not in love. I'm sorry.
He, not even, like, I don't know. I feel like I have to defend this family for some reason, where I'm like, no, Loid and Yor belong together, and they're amazing, and they have an amazing daughter. They have a wonderful family. Don't wreck this, you weirdo looking. Like, he got that like long haircut, and I'm like, ugh, hate him so much. And he also
is like, he's weirdly in love with his sister.
Like weirdly in love with her, and it's not okay. And he was like, "Oh, when I grow up, I want to marry you." And she's like, "Oh, I'll be waiting." And then when she marries someone else, he's like, "What the heck?" Like,
he's like, "Wait a minute, that wasn't a joke. I was serious."
And he has like, I don't know. He has like pictures of her in his like locker at work, and I'm like, dude, what is happening over here?
I will say, I think it's volume 7 or 8 of the manga, they do dive into that a little more, and like they pull back the joke part of it and show that it's like, oh yeah, we played it up as a joke for funny, haha. Mm-hmm. But because of how they were raised and how they kind of took care of each other, it's more of like, oh, I love my sister because she raised and helped me become the person that I am, and I want to do the same thing for her. And a lot of his, I guess, apprehension towards Loid is like, oh, you're an outside person trying to take my sister away. Mm-hmm. And he's realizing, oh, she doesn't need me to provide for her anymore because she has someone else to do that. And they play it up for jokes at the beginning, but it does get a lot more serious, and I appreciate that because it goes back to the tone is like, yes, we can have the jokes, so we can also have those more serious moments and have them flesh together really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they're fleshed together so well in just like, I feel like this is becoming like my new favorite anime, which I don't know. I can't compare it to Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
I don't know if I can compare it to Demon Slayer because Demon Slayer is so different. It's like Demon Slayer isn't funny. It's not like trying to be funny. It's like, I don't know, like Zenitsu is funny, but it's not like haha, like it's not like a joke in the same way
like
that Spy
it's two
Family
different genres.
Right. So I'm like, okay, Demon Slayer is really, really good, and I'm very emotionally invested in Demon Slayer, but it's not like I'm going to finish season 1 of Spy Family ASAP, but Demon Slayer season 2 is on Netflix, and I could go watch it. I just haven't yet.
Right.
So I don't know if they're comparable, but Spy Family. I think it might be my new favorite.
Man, I gotta find more bad anime to show you. I can't let you keep getting away with watching only good anime. It's gonna taint your perspective as an anime fan. If you only eat really good food, can you really say you've enjoyed food?
No,
because you don't have anything bad to compare it to.
No, you're right. I mean,
so I gotta find more. And if anybody has any suggestions of bad anime, drop them in the comments. I want to hear your bad anime, and I will put them on the list. Because right now, all I've got is bangers, and I need something bad. I need a Sword Art Online level bad, and maybe, one day in the future, I'll put Sword Art Online on the poll again, and we'll keep going through Sword Art Online.
So many people.
I'll make you suffer through all of it.
So many people got so mad. They were like, "I love Sword Art Online." And I'm like,
guys, it's not that good.
I'm
Chill.
like, here's the thing. I don't know, and I have to be careful what I say because apparently people listen to this show, and I've said some.
I would have hoped so.
I've said some one-off things before on podcasts that people will approach me about. And they're like, "What do you mean by that?" And I'm like, "You heard that?
I don't remember saying it.
You heard that?" So, you can like Sword Art Online. I just think it's bad. I don't know why.
It is bad. That's the problem.
Why you like Sword Art Online? And it's so weird to get flamed for that. How dare you attack Sword Art Online when I legitimately don't understand. How do you like
I just thought of another.
Oh.
I just thought of another bad anime. I'm gonna add it to the list.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's bad.
I
mean, Alex would disagree with me, but...
Okay. This could be interesting. Yeah, I think Spy Family is turning into my favorite. Just because it has everything. It has the heart, it has the comedy, it has the action, it has the drama. And you can crucify me if you want. I've been watching the dub because we watched...
the dub's not that bad.
We watched the sub together, the first episode. And after that, I was just kind of checking my watch of when is this gonna be done? Or when does this need to be done? I was I think I could get through this a lot faster if it was the dub. And the dub, it's not bad at all. It's a good dub. I've seen enough anime to know a bad dub, and that one's pretty good. So
Sword Art Online has a bad dub.
It's pretty bad.
Here's what I'll say. I wanna go on this little tangent here about sub versus dub, because this is one of the biggest debates in anime. Is oh, you're a dub watcher? That's kind of cringe. Or you're a sub watcher? How elitist of you. Guys, let me be frank with you. It doesn't matter if you watch anime subbed or dubbed. What matters is if you're enjoying the experience. That's a really bad time to burp. Because right in the middle of a great point. But yeah, it matters if you're enjoying the experience. Right. If you're not enjoying the experience, then what's the point of watching it?
Right.
And I had people at school who I met who couldn't watch sub because they couldn't focus on the subbed and the whatever's going on screen. They had to watch dub because that was just made it a lot easier for them to consume the anime. And I'm like, you know what? That's totally valid if that's what brings you enjoyment. And there are some anime that I watch dubbed because I want to be able to scroll through Twitter on my phone while watching anime in the background.
Right.
And then there are some that's oh, I really want to watch this one, but it's only subbed. So I'll put my phone down and I'll watch it subbed. Those 2 movies I watched, both subbed. Actually, all the anime movies I watched this week were subbed except for the quintessential quintuplets. And that's an hour and a half of sitting through subbed because that's how the story is presented on Crunchyroll because they didn't get dubs.
No dubs.
So I think it comes down to the person, and I think we should stop hating on people and criticizing them for the way they choose to enjoy a show just because we don't think it's the correct way.
Right.
You can argue this anime has a bad dub, that anime has a bad dub, sub is better. I personally think the sub of Demon Slayer, especially on episode 19 in season 1, is better than the dub, just because the raw emotion coming out in that voice acting is different.
Right.
And that's not to put any shade on Zach Aguilar or anyone who did the English dub. I'm just saying I think it came out better in the sub. If you watch it dubbed, you're still going to get a great experience. So that's the end of my little TED Talk. Stop hating on people for watching dub. It's okay to watch anime dubbed.
Yeah, which I felt.
Thank you.
I fell into that too. Like, I was really, I guess, I don't want to say scared, but I was kind of nervous to watch dub at first. I was like, I don't know. Like, I watched Demon Slayer subbed because I think the emotion didn't come through in the dub the way that it does in the sub. But I also, like, when I got to college, everyone I knew that watched anime watched it dubbed because they were like, yeah, I don't care. So,
I mean, I'll come clean. I watched pretty much all of My Hero, seasons 1 through the first half of season 4 dubbed because that's what I wanted to watch. I did the same thing with Attack on Titan. I watched everything of Attack on Titan up to like the most recent stuff dubbed. Still enjoyed Attack on Titan. Still enjoyed My Hero. If the dub is so bad that it destroys the story, that's one thing.
Right.
But if the story is so bad that a dub prevents you from enjoying it, that's something completely different.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So I want to say that my favorite episode of this show that I've seen of the first 12 is episode 12. And that's...
Oh, where they go to the aquarium?
That's Penguin Park, where they go to the aquarium. Because it was where... And this is what makes me want to keep watching it, is I feel like it wasn't until this episode that they fully accepted their role as parents. And so the rest of the time, it's a mission. And they're like... Oh, we gotta get her these stars, and like we gotta like make sure she's a scholar so we can. It's for the mission, but this is like, oh, like they saw like my daughter is crying. What can I do to fix this? And then they went and played, and it was super wholesome, and like it was amazing. And they were like, and like that wasn't for the mission. That was just good wholesome fun because they're slowly accepting their role as parents, and I really like Loid as a character because he's like this chiseled spy that doesn't need a family, but he's like starting to kind of realize that that's what he wants. And it's like, it's just one of those, like, I'm rooting for all of them. Like, I just want all of them to be together and succeed and be happy. But like, I'm really curious to see where this is going to go. I want to know, like, who finds out whose identity and what the dynamic shifts and what it looks like. And I'm excited to keep going. This is a good show.
Yeah. So here's a fun fact is that Penguin Park, that whole thing is actually an extra chapter. It's not even a part of the main manga. Every manga volume, as far as I'm aware, contains at least one bonus mission, as they're called, and Penguin Park was one of those bonus missions. And I think what's great about this adaptation is that it didn't feel like something extra.
No,
it felt like the next logical progression of the story. And I didn't know that until I was watching like fact videos on YouTube, and I was like, whoa, I thought that was just the next chapter. So I do agree with what you're saying, though. That episode felt like the first time everyone was like, okay, let's actually accept and go into the roles that we've been cast. Because it had been, up to that point, it had been everything's for the mission. I got to make sure Anya gets good grades. I got to make sure becomes an Imperial Scholar so she can meet Damien's dad and like that whole thing. And I just think it's great because Loid as a character doesn't know what he wants until he has it. And he doesn't realize that he wants a family until he has it right here. And he wouldn't have gotten to here if it wasn't for the spy work. He never would have made that choice willingly. It was only because it was forced upon him under the guise of it's all for the mission. And now he's like, oh, well, maybe once this war's over, maybe like maybe I could be a dad,
maybe
or
I
like
could do this. Yeah.
maybe this could work, you know?
And it's just
So
I don't like wholesome is like just the right word. It's wholesome. And I really appreciate shows and movies today's that really like push a family value, because I think that's really neglected now, especially in media and shows and everything. It's like they're trying to be good parents. They're trying to be a functioning family unit. And Yuri is struggling with the fact that she feels like she's not a good wife. She feels like she has to be able to cook and help with homework and like all this. And like, that's a real struggle. Like that's such a good thing to explore. And like Loid is like, he's like stumbling through not just fatherhood, but through his fake marriage, which like, it's not really fake anymore. Like he loves her. And so I think my favorite episode is 12. I think the funniest episode to me was probably 9, where show off how in love you are. That was the mission, where she's like, oh, I have to kiss this guy, and then just hits the bottle of wine and like harder than I've ever seen anyone. Like she just like grabbed that junk, like she drank the whole thing, and she was like, let's go. And that like caught me so off guard that I was like, whoa, back up. Like, this is crazy. So
oh yeah,
I think even though I hate her brother, that was a good episode. And I really like so much justice. Well, also, really good story point was when she was like kind of drunk and like wasn't really paying attention, and so she threw a fork at him. And like her ability to like hide her assassin life was like less, she had less of a mask of
control.
Less control. Thank you. She had less control of her ability to hide her assassin life because she was drunk, and like threw the fork at him and like sliced his face and was like, okay, let's go, Loid. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I watching? This is crazy. So I'm invested in this story now. I think they're awesome. Also, respect for Yor. Like she's just a good character.
I'm absolutely about to go into that.
She's just a good mom. Like she's just a good mom. I love her.
Okay, couple things.
Right.
One, can we all acknowledge that Loid, for being the quote-unquote smartest spy we have, is very dumb? Because my favorite episode, I think it's episode 5, where they go and like they go to the theme park and they do like the whole like Loid has to rescue Anya, and they're like reenacting the show in the castle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
In that episode, Yor gets drunk and fights Loid and almost kills him. Drunk, by the way. Imagine what she could do if she wasn't.
No, literally.
And it's like, how do you like? And Loid just kind of brushes it off, like,
fascinating.
Man, interesting. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that never.
Yeah, no.
It'll be one of those things when he eventually finds out.
He'll
be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually. I fully understand. But I think Yor is one of the best female characters we've gotten in a long time. Because she is kind of that perfect representation of, I would say, what it means to be a woman. Like, she is the strong and confident independent because she had to provide for her brother. And how do I want to say this? I see a lot of the same things I see in Yor are what I see in my own mom, because my mom was a single mom for a long time. So I understand the whole drive to like, okay, I have to work to provide. And is this what I want to be doing? No, I want to be a mom. But because I have 2 kids, I have to work and provide for them. And now that Yor doesn't necessarily have to do that, she's struggling with, okay, well, what do I do? Like, what is there to do? Like, obviously, she still has her job that she goes to, but outside of that, what is there to do? I don't have to provide for Yuri anymore, but I have Anya and Loid. And I think it's great that while she's not a good cook, she has the drive to go out and learn and get better so that she can be a better wife and she can be a better mom. And she's always actively trying to do better to be the best wife and mom that she can be. Great role model, by the way.
Amazing role model. Also, like, shout out to them, because I think, and this is like just such a good like example of a functioning family unit, really, because she's like, oh, I'm not good at cooking, but I want to learn so that I can provide. And Loid is like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll cook for now. And like, he's like, I'm good at it and I don't mind. Like, so he goes and does it and does like that the sacrificial husband role, even though he's like a spy and it's fake. He's like, no, I don't care. I'll go cook for us. Like, that's fine. And it's just like why is it so good? Like, why is this anime like just the one that's promoting like strong family values? Like, this is not what I expected to come out of this show with. Is like, what a solid family.
I would low-key argue that's part of its success.
Yeah.
It is promoting that good, high-quality family values that we just don't see a lot in media anymore. It's kind of the same thing. Like, I started Wizards of Waverly Place, and it's kind of the same thing as that. It's like, you don't see a lot of normal family. I mean, I say normal. Like, I know
they're wizards.
The definition of normal is different nowadays, but like, you don't really see the more nuclear family in media anymore. And I think it's great that Spy Family is going in that direction, because that's part of why I enjoy it so much, is because it's like, oh, that's the kind of lifestyle that I want to have one day.
Right.
And it's a very similar lifestyle to what I remember growing up in. So Spy Family, very good, very wholesome.
Trailblazing.
I can't wait for season 2, even though I've like read the manga. I'm very excited to see how it gets adapted. Plus, we're getting an anime original movie next year.
Really?
I mean, it comes out on Christmas in Japan, which means it probably won't be out here until like February or March. Depending on how popular the franchise is, it determines the turnaround of Japan to the U.S. Right. So like My Hero, 2 months. 2 months. They turn that stuff around, get it right back in theaters. Spy Family will probably be the same way. They're like 2 months, February, bam.
Yeah, because why wait? Why wait for that money?
Why wait when we can get your theater money, baby?
Cha-ching.
Spy Family will be in every theater in the United States. They're like, dude, there's money to be made.
I will say,
in the shade.
I was talking to Logan. He's been on the show, friend of the show, and he said that the theater here is playing Suzume the next week. And
you gotta
so
go see it.
We might get to go see it.
You gotta go see it.
I've never seen.
I'm so mad because my theaters are done showing it.
Yeah.
Like, they're already done. My theater is like, no more showings, subbed or dubbed. I'm really mad because I didn't get to go see it dubbed. So now I have to wait until it comes out on like Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, of course, the Blu-ray release in the U.S. will be way later than the Blu-ray release in Japan.
Oh,
it's not even out on Blu-ray in Japan yet.
Right.
And I'm like, now I gotta wait.
Yeah. Which, I don't know. This is a good show.
If you go see Suzume, future anime adventure episode where we talk about Your Name, Weathering with You, and Suzume.
As ayo, I'm just
sneak
saying.
A little extra anime adventure
I'm
episode
just
in
saying.
there.
I'm not mad. I would like to talk about Your Name because that's a wacky movie.
I'd love to talk about Weathering with You again. I feel like our last Weathering with You episode was saddled because we brought along a hater.
No,
we didn't get to actually fully talk about that movie.
No hate. Weathering with
No
You.
hate. It's a good episode if nobody tells me I'm wrong. Come on. If you don't tell me that I'm wrong, then it's a good episode.
Exactly. If you just agree with everything that I say, then
it's
fine. Also, I'm looking at the episodes. I'm very invested to keep watching because now there's a dog.
True.
There's a dog.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm gonna look up the episode list and I'm gonna give you out of context spoiler / summary of the episodes
please.
you're about to see.
Oh, please.
Let me see how best can I
Guys, if there's
summarize this.
a dog in a TV show, I will watch every episode.
Because there's 3 arcs.
I don't know.
Well, there's a mini 3-episode arc, and then it kind of goes one by one, and then it goes. Okay, so obviously there's the dog. You know about that.
The dog.
And then there's Gordon Ramsay cameo.
What?
Arts and Crafts Day. Yuri comes back. What else? Oh, Wii Sports Tennis.
What?
Yeah. And then the last 2 episodes are a bit more serious.
Right.
So I won't say anything
I
about them.
I figured.
But
they
my
would be.
favorite is the 3-episode Wii Sports Tennis arc.
That's good.
It's going to be great.
That's good. Oh, I forgot to say this at the beginning. Me and Anya are for real the same because I can destroy an entire container of peanuts in like a week. I freaking love like cocktail peanuts. I always keep them in my backpack. They are delicious. She's so valid for liking peanuts. Peanuts are an elite snack. If you get like the California cocktail peanuts, they're so crunchy and they're so long. Ugh. Now I want peanuts.
I don't like peanuts, I'm going to be honest. I like peanut butter. I don't like peanuts by themselves. I just can't do it. There's something about the taste.
Dude, peanut butter.
It also doesn't help that my mom is allergic to peanuts, so like we've never really had peanuts in the house anyway.
I thought for a second that you were allergic to peanuts, but you're allergic to chocolate.
No. My uncle is definitely allergic to peanuts, though. Like, if he smells it, he could go into anaphylactic shock.
Oh.
It's kind of crazy.
I heard a story. I was at church, and I was talking. I was in the youth group, and I was talking to these kids, and they were like, yeah, some kid got expelled from school because they put a Reese's cup in this girl's hoodie, and she had a peanut allergy. And I was like, that's not funny. They were like,
that is evil.
Like,
that's not funny.
They were like, she was fine. I was like, I don't care. That's how you kill somebody.
People like that are the reason I tell people I have a deathly dog allergy.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've told people before, like, there have been dogs around me, especially when I was younger. I'm like, guys, I'm allergic to dogs. And they're like, oh, you'll be fine. And I was like, okay, you're not taking this seriously enough. So I started telling people, oh, if I get licked by a dog, I could die.
Yeah.
That's how severe it is. Everyone, attitudes
They're
around
like,
the world
"Whoa!"
changed with that one. They were like, "Oh no, let me get my dog out of here. I'll vacuum and deep clean my entire house.
Yeah.
I don't want you to die." And I'm like, "Is this what it takes for you to like respect my allergy? Like,
hey,
I won't die. My nose might run, and I'll get some hives. I'll be fine."
but
like,
it's still not
But
good.
it's
still not good.
yeah, like you should take everyone's allergies seriously, regardless of whether or not, unless it's something like my chocolate allergy of like, oh, you can eat chocolate, I just can't eat it.
Right.
Like I'm not going to stop you from eating chocolate. That one's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But dogs and cats, man,
hey,
make me sick.
Good news, you can come over to my house now.
Oh, I forgot about that. I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh my gosh. That's really funny.
Sorry for your loss.
Oh, that's really funny.
That kind of came out of nowhere.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
I mean, as
so,
long as you thought it was funny,
I thought
that's
it
okay.
was funny. So, yeah. Essentially, Spy Family is amazing, and I didn't expect it to be that good. And even the bullies have deep characters. Like, Lord Damien is just a butt, but he they give a reason for him being a butt.
He gets better.
Yeah.
I like
Okay,
Damien.
good. He's like, I really like that he's not like, oh, I'm just a mean kid, I'm just a bully. It's like, no, I want the attention of my father and my overachieving older brother. And it's like, oh, that makes so much sense. That's all you have to say. Now I kind of feel bad for him. And so it's like, when they just do little things like that, that's all it takes for you to be like, oh, like that's how you create deep characters. Just give a reason. Just give them a reason. So I'm going to keep watching this show. If you keep tuning in bi-weekly now, and, you know, I'll keep you updated on where I'm at and what I'm thinking, because this is a good show. this is just a good show. It promotes good family values, very wholesome, great animation. It's just very well written. I love all the characters, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I think this has mad potential to be like a long series, especially if we could watch like Anya grow up through this family. That would be amazing. I would love that. I'd watch a lot. I'd watch like 6 seasons of this show. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Despite me needing to show you more bad anime.
Right.
So, before we end off here, I'm going to list off our options on the poll.
All right.
And what I want to do is read you like the serialized description of each one, and then I want you to tell me which one you want to win and which one you think will win.
Okay.
Because I have my own, but I want to know from you first.
So which one?
Because it's the shows you're watching.
So which one I want to win and which one I think will win.
Yes.
Okay.
So, pay attention.
Right.
Bear with me here. So, we have Komi Can't Communicate, which is at a high school full of unique characters, Tadano helps his shy and unsociable classmate Komi reach her goal of making friends with 100 people. Very good show.
Okay.
We also have Horimiya. A secret life is one thing they have in common. After school, Hori is a prim and perfect social at school, Hori is a prim and perfect social butterfly, but the truth is she's a brash homebody. Meanwhile, under a gloomy facade, Miyamura hides a gentle heart along with piercings and tattoos. A chance meeting.
What?
In a chance meeting, they both reveal a side they've never shown. Could this blossom into something new?
Okay.
And of course, actually, I'm not going to say that because it'll influence your opinion.
Oh.
And then lastly, we have Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Considered a genius due to having the highest grades in the country, Miyuki Shirogane leads the prestigious Shuchen Academy Student Council as its president, working alongside the beautiful and wealthy Vice President Kaguya Shinomiya. I can read. The two are often regarded as the perfect couple by students, despite them not being in any sort of romantic relationship. So, based off of your limited knowledge, what do you want to win, and which do you think is going to win?
I think Love is War is going to win.
Okay.
I think that's what's going to win. That's based on my limited knowledge. I think that's the most popular. What I want to win is I want to watch Horimiya.
Okay.
Because in past episodes, when you've talked about Horimiya, and like, I remember a bit ago I had to edit clips of. Do you remember that? I had to edit clips from an episode I wasn't on where you talked about Horimiya, and I sent you the clips, and I was like, "What is even this show?" So I would.
It's like a full circle moment.
Yeah, this would be a full circle moment. I would like to watch Horimiya. I'm gonna watch both of them eventually, so
yeah,
it could go either way. But that's my recommendation.
Okay. I also think Love is War is going to win.
Right.
I don't know if it'll be a blowout like previous episodes have been.
Right.
Like Sword Art Online won by a big majority. I think this one could be a little closer, especially with the choices that I put on there. And that's kind of why I did, because I don't want the poll to be super one-sided.
Right.
I want it to be a little more like, oh, I want it to be a difficult decision.
Yeah.
So I think Love is War is going to win just because it is the most popular, but I do want Horimiya to win because yes, all three of these are fantastic romance anime. Love is War is my favorite romance anime of all time. It's been a while since I've seen Horimiya. It would also be great because they're doing like a season 2 kind of in July. So like, hey guys. Be topical. Just saying. Anyway, so yeah, poll is in the description. Or if you're watching on Apple Podcasts and you don't have access to that poll, you can go over to our community tab on YouTube and vote there. So we're going to put all those votes together and then figure out who wins. Unless it's like a very clear landslide in one direction, then it's like, okay, well,
it's like, well, duh.
Calculating votes doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I've got.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Very good.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yep. 2 weeks.
Not next week. 2 weeks. May 15th.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you for your continued support as we went weekly for the last month. We're going to have a meeting and kind of discuss because we were weekly for a while, a long time ago, and we just kind of like realized we didn't have the capacity for that. And so we kind of wanted to give it another go and just be like, would this be good for analytics? Is this doable for us? Like, how do we plan this out? Like, what does this look like? And so thank you for your continued support as we go weekly. We're going to go back to bi-weekly for a little bit and then kind of decide what we want to do. We'll keep you updated definitely and get a poll from the audience. So essentially, thank you for listening. Being weekly has been an incredible. I feel like I've just learned a lot, and especially what I learned was have an episode planned like the week before, so that you're not scrambling. Because we're like, oh yeah, we don't have an episode till. Oh no, we have an episode tomorrow. What are we doing? Uh-oh. So it's been really good, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Who's to say?
Yep.
Nick might be playing Zelda.
I might be gone. Who's to say?
Who's
maybe
to say?
Maybe Jackson will be able to drag me out of my Zelda cave to record.
I don't think so.
I doubt it, because we record on Saturdays, which would be the 13th. And I mean, hey, you might be able to drag me from my chair, like back there, to up to the desk, because I'll still be awake because I'm playing Zelda all night.
Right, of course.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Right. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of The Nerdiest Podcast. If you like what we do here, follow on Instagram at The Nerdiest Podcast or on YouTube at The Nerdiest Podcast, where we're having amazing original content and keeping up with episodes so that you can see what's going on, vote on polls, vote on the poll in the description on Spotify and on the community tab so that we can decide what anime I'm going to watch next for Jackson's Anime Adventure. Tune in next week, or in 2 weeks. Tune in for our next few episodes. We have some really good stuff planned. Thank you for sticking with us this year, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye!